In this section, we're going to talk about old instructional habits. So what I want you to do first is to think back to when you were in middle or high school. How were you taught, or what was the common instructional blueprint? It's likely that most of your days were spent in the assigning and telling loop. The teacher assigned something to read, the students answered a packet of questions, and then the teacher would tell the students by questioning them what the material they read was about. For many of us, school was a sort of dull experience, unless maybe you were a good reader who loved to memorize things and please teachers. Unfortunately, assigning and telling is still a pretty common instructional practice. Overusing this habit of teaching can cause harmful effects on students. For example, assigning students a chapter to read, followed by a list of questions as a means for learning content, may create a scenario in which many students may struggle to read the text because they are overwhelmed by the size of the task, they lack a purpose for reading, and they find the text too difficult. This then leads to a lack of engagement. And if students are not engaged, then they become off tasks, or they do not read the text. Then when students become off task or refuse to read the text, then we try to gain control through strategies like round-robin reading. Round-robin reading is when students in a classroom take turns reading the book out loud. And unfortunately, round-robin reading leads to embarrassment for struggling students. It decreases comprehension for the entire group as their goal shifts to orally reading without mistakes, and boredom for the advanced readers starts to set in. In the end, few students learn the content. So, as you can see, the assigning and telling loop is actually a negative experience for students and can actually hinder their learning. So, how do we bust out of the old mold of assigning and telling? Click on the next lecture to find out. I'm sure you're dying to know.